Hey, y'all, it's your boy Diggity Dean, Dane Sampson, or whatever you feel like calling me today. If you really know me, you know I'm just trying to chill more in Daner's world. Man, that bump on my lip. Sorry, distracted. ADD. Yeah, I got like chapped lip like right there, and it's really annoying the fuck out of me. How are you today, Gray?
Tired.
Yeah,
Tired of snow. Tired of cold.
yeah.
Don't like the heat, but I like fall. I need the seasons to go zzz.
You need to tweak them just a little bit.
Oh,
No,
just a
I
little.
feel you. I cannot relate. You know, I'm down here with flamingos in my shirt, and it's like 62 degrees. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I won't rub it in. I won't rub it in. For you, those that don't know, this is the interview podcast 513. This is Grace Santana. She is going to have agreed to be one of my weekly regulars because I needed some female stuff in here. Stuff and things. So thank you for that. Um, you look lovely.
Thank you.
Your
I threw on a.
Yeah, your room looks cool too.
It's a bit of a vibe. I've had stuff around, but
Yeah,
I featured the Black Lagoon poster. It's my
yeah,
favorite
I
horror
dig it.
classic.
Is it?
hmm
Why's that?
I was 7 years old. One of my favorite memories was with my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She was staying at my mama's house, and Svengoolie was on TV, if anybody knows what that is, and they happened to be playing The Creature of the Black Lagoon,
Mm-hmm.
and I just sat there and watched it with my grandmother, and it's been my favorite classic ever since.
I gotcha. Well, that's cool, man. So I we're gonna start something off a little bit right out the gate. So Gray, for those who don't know, I met Gray. I was doing a music review show
Mhm.
with Bally Quinn, and she had submitted a song. I liked it, so I reached out. Um, and then she came to a couple of my open mics. She was one of the first, even the views at the Vic, which was awesome. So we've had a nice little
Mhm.
journey together over the course of almost not quite a year, but almost a year. Um,
No, it's past a year at this point because I'm pretty sure when
I mean that we met in
when you
person because I don't think I did the
oh
I don't think I did the views at the Vic or that stuff until like March or April. I want to say.
no, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, she's fantastic. She sings. We just released a song together that we co-produced called Punchline. That is available everywhere. I'm gonna bust her balls in a little bit about because we're gonna talk about promotion and what it takes. But before we get that, Gray, I had a going away party before I moved back down here to Florida, and I
Mm.
had asked for folks to roast me. Um,
Yeah.
and she was there, but this girl, she's a trooper, man. It's always something. But she was taking an Uber on the way there, and it got in an accident. She bumped her head, so she sang her one song for me, which I'm grateful. But she was supposed to be one of my roasters, and we didn't get to see that happen. So I told her today she's gonna do her bit for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Grace Santana.
So
Satana.
every Dane, everybody knows he is the white man in Cincinnati that's running these events.
Yeah.
He's always walking around with his baggy pants and his J's and hoodie. And so I can't help but think like when you think of somebody wanting a backwood, you think of him. Um, like you imagine here, hey, where that backwood? You got a backwood? You imagine turning around. Um,
Yeah.
and not only that, but like when you do see him even from a distance, he got a big head. So I'm like,
Damn.
this man is a living bobblehead. It's the funniest thing ever. I mean, when you get into conversations with him too, he's real cool with what he says. You could tell he's a bit of an unk at this point.
Oh.
And with the way that he says things, you know damn well he's the one to be like, my I got a mixed cousin. My cousin gave me the pass. I can say it. It's all right. It's all right. We know that because ain't no way walking around in J's asking for some cigarettes, maybe a drink, a favor or two.
Mhm.
Also, Dane, I got a question.
Mhm.
How do you manage to look like a nephew, uncle, and a dad all in one?
Because I'm all of those things, first of all.
Yeah, but it's like how you a neph son uncle? Like that makes no sense. You know,
Hmm.
a lot of people always wear a hat,
Hmm.
and it makes me wonder. I'm like, what's going on under there? Are you secretly in a shampoo commercial? and a Head and Shoulders dandruff commercial. We don't know. We don't. Also, I'm not saying this to be mean, but you make me think of the kids that would chew erasers in school. You were the type to take a long time sharpening, and then you go and sit down and chew your erasers. You'd be the one going down the hallways, probably singing out loud, 1, 2, 3, save some for me.
I did do
Forever
that.
at the water.
I did
Okay,
do
right. So it makes sense.
that.
I don't know. And then sometimes I think I'm like, if you were a Pokemon,
Mhm.
you would be Charmander, because there's a whole lot of sass, but not a lot of attitude. You got all that little spark, that little, but you haven't evolved yet. You haven't learned how to
Oh,
spit that damage.
okay, okay.
All right, I won't be too mean. That's what I'll give you.
That's all you gave me? She did have a joke off there that I bring. She forgot the best part. She said I bring joy and sunshine to her life, but it's really just the sun refracting off my head. She, you could have said something nice there. No, she's great. I appreciate that. That's fun. I want to keep this light and ginger before we get into the deep stuff. This is the first one. So I have a game. Do you want to play a game with me?
Okay, Jigsaw.
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of right up that alley. I know you love horror stuff and you're in that aesthetic. And so we're going to play. I know you've seen it before when I do the blind top fives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're going to do, for folks at home, I'm going to ask her to rank, and I'll get the category in a second. These things, 1 through 5. But she doesn't know what's coming next. So I'll give her a name. She'll rank it 1 through 5. Once, let's say she ranks it 3. 3 is locked, and she doesn't know what's coming next. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are going to do blind top 5 horror franchises slash universes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I included some movies and some TV shows. Uh,
Okay.
we're going to start off with Scream, 1 through 5.
2.
2? Okay, I respect it. I respect it. Speaking of Jigsaw, we're going to go with Saw.
4.
Okay, okay. We're going to do a new one that just ended, Stranger Things.
5.
Ooh, okay, okay. It did get weird. So that leaves.
It
Go ahead.
I have my own opinions. I love sci-fi, but
Yeah.
there's just something Stranger Things. After season 2, I just couldn't do
It
it.
was a little too corny for me, but I think that was the purpose. So now we have Final Destination
3.
3. Okay, and our number one spot is going to go to American Horror Story.
Yeah, that makes
All
a lot of
right,
sense.
you got it right, dude. American Horror Story.
Yep.
So for the folks at home, her list is her Blaze Scout top 5 horror franchise slash universes. Coming in at number 5, Stranger Things. Coming in at number 4, Saw. Little Jigsaw. The first Saw though it's not just like for the horror. It was a fantastic mindfuck movie.
It was. And like honestly, I don't even like having to give them a 4, but I am satisfied with my list.
Yeah. Well, let me
Saw.
finish. It's at number 3, Final Destination.
Mhm.
Everybody remembers that scene with the big long poles. 2 is Scream, classic. They're getting ready to make a 7th one, I think. And then number 1,
Mhm.
American Horror Story, who is still going strong on. It took me a few years because I wasn't an avid watcher. I've watched a few episodes now. I watched like the Vampire and the Witches seasons, but I didn't know that it was the same characters every season, just playing different roles, which I thought was a very yeah. I thought that was a cool way to do that.
Especially like I think it was season 10 in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
They had things like characters actually crossed. Like at the end of the bunker season, we saw the witches. And some of the people that played the witches also played in season 10, the bunk.
Yeah.
So I mean, really it's a matter of surrounding, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I only watched the first season of Stranger Things. I watched the first 2 Saws. I think I watched the first 3 of the original Final Destination. Scream, I have not seen the new ones. Just just like that's my favorite line from Matthew Lillard in the first one though, when he stabs it and he's like, "It's ketchup, just like your mom's spaghetti."
Hmm.
I do love Kathy Bates in American Horror Story. But if you did your homework, and we're going to see right now, I did prep you with coming up with 3 to 5 topics that you would like to discuss with me, or a male perspective, or in general. And
Hmm.
I would like you to pick one of those now.
What are the thoughts on the Grammys this year?
The thoughts on the Grammys. So, okay. I thought it was very political this year. It was very showy. I did make a prediction correct. I noticed now that Jay Z is in charge of the Grammys last year, it just happened to coincide that Kendrick won all the big awards. And just coincidentally, the week, so he wins on February 1st. It's huge. And then he goes on to perform at the Super Bowl. Great marketing
Hmm.
strategy. Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl also just won Album of the Year. I did find it weird that he wasn't allowed to perform because they can't, it's 2 different stations. And in his contract, I think that was odd. I think that was
Hmm.
odd. I feel like Billie Eilish won for Wildflower. I feel like that song's been nominated for the last 3 years. It
Hmm.
seems like the same. I know it's a different one, but I feel like all her, because that's what was confusing to me. Like this year, like last year, Kendrick won on Not Like Us, um,
Hmm.
and but his album hadn't been released in time to win the other awards. So I feel like he doubled up, and I feel like Taylor Swift does this, where she releases and then she dominates for 2 years. So like even you know what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. Um, just some of these albums, I didn't understand how they were nominated last year, and the song singles were, and then the albums were this year, and then vice versa. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like if the album
Yeah.
was out last year, but they hadn't released a single, it can hit 2 years in a row. It's a little confused on the rules there.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I'm gonna straight up say it. I feel like Kendrick Lamar deserves every single award that he
Absolutely,
gets.
100%.
Um, and is extremely talented. Not only is he an amazing rapper, but a lyricist.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
he's won a Pulitzer Prize for literature. Now he is the most Grammy award-winning rapper of all time. Officially surpassing Jay Z.
yep.
And I feel like he's far from done on his music career. I think it might be a
Yeah.
couple years before we get a full album, a few years before we get a few albums. But I think he's one of those artists that has reached that level, like an Adele, where they don't have to put out music every year.
Yeah. Um, you also brought up like Billie Eilish
Hmm.
and who else was it?
Bad Bunny,
But yeah, I definitely thought that it was odd that they didn't let him perform, especially since he won Album of the Year.
yeah.
Um, but also I feel like with the state of everything right now, they were just trying to keep things hush hush
Hmm.
instead of facing the reality that people wanted to see him perform at the
Yeah.
Grammys. He's at the Super Bowl. I
Hmm.
guess it's just, in my opinion, to like appeal to the conservative people that were there.
Right.
But at the end of music is music,
Hmm.
and I don't care if somebody fits your narrative
Hmm.
of how simple it can be. Let them perform.
Right. Well,
Um,
I mean, it's
speaks-
competing networks, so I kind of get it to a point. You know what I mean? To a point, I get it.
yeah,
I was surprised Sabrina Carpenter was completely snubbed. I thought with the run that she's
I
been on, I thought that she would at least sneak one in there. I do think the performances that I have so far, I do want to go back and watch them. Lola Young, that medley that they did of all the best new artists, which I felt very American Idol to me, but it was cool. I felt like she stole the spotlight because Addison Rae had a great dance routine. It was very cool, but you could tell she was not singing her own song. And then you get Lola Young, who goes up there and just, what an amazing vocal
her,
and solo. Yeah,
yeah,
she's
her,
amazing. And watching her win, her true joy, and that's, I love watching the first time winners.
there's so much fear and shock and
Yeah.
excitement all in one. You could see it.
Yeah.
It
And no
would
one had to
like,
thank Beyonce on their behalf because she wasn't nominated this year. Uh,
yeah, I don't know.
what else are your thoughts on it?
I think, well, I can be a very critical person, and a lot of
Mhm.
people know that.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Be it. This is your time to be so.
but you know, especially when it comes to certain things, I think things do need to be critical when it comes to music,
Mm-hmm.
especially like you can't pin two different genres together and
Yeah.
then try to act like they're competing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on which demographic is voting and what they listen to is what they're going to vote for.
Right.
Um, I definitely seeing as Sabrina Carpenter didn't win anything, I expected that.
Mm-hmm.
She is very talented in the sense of her genre of music.
Yeah.
Very well, albums have been very successful.
Mm-hmm.
But I expected that, especially since
Oh
Olivia
yeah.
Dean won,
She's amazing.
and
And the
her,
it's a good song when you got the men and love and singing along word for word with a song like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, I will say, the main thing that ever makes me upset, especially for the last couple years of the
Mm-hmm.
Grammys, is that everything is so TikTok famous now. And don't get me wrong, social media, but every time I feel like somebody blows up on TikTok and then they win this big old Grammy, they win an award, you never hear about them again. Like they still have a career, but you never hear about them again.
No, I
Like,
mean, Jessie Murph took that route,
yeah,
and she's on a hell of a run. I mean, I don't think she won any awards, but she's on a hell of a run. I mean, you have Natalie Jane who did that. I feel like that's with TikTok. I feel like okay. Let me explain this right because I do want to touch base on this. You still have your elites and your gatekeepers and your controls at the top levels. But what I
yeah.
feel like social media and TikToks, especially like the guy last year, um, he did the song. What the fuck is it? North of something. It was a song about the guy in the country, the redhead that was playing the guitar, and he had the song about the rich people in D.C. and blah blah blah. I can't remember. Completely grassroots movement because of social media. He uploaded it. Jessie Murph, another one. I watched her go from 50, 100 views and likes on TikTok in real time to over the next 12, 18 months to then go on tour with Jelly Roll, then to go sing the, Hallelujah at the New Year's Eve ball. And I've seen that, and now she's on her own national tour, and she's won at the AMAs and stuff like that. I've seen that happen in real time. I feel like you have to acknowledge that because that's what we have now for the grassroots movement. As you know what I'm saying, that can start literally from nothing in their home, in their bedroom, just like you, in front of their mirror or their camera at their vanity, singing their songs over and over and over and over again, and it catches fire in the algorithm, and that you know what I mean. So I can't hate on it. I'm glad that they do acknowledge it. But if you want to break that down more, that's just my rebuttal.
Yeah, the way I think about it is a very good example of this, Dochi. Extremely
I
talented.
have
We know.
Tana. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, like I'll give her props.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. She has a full career now. I love that for her. But I feel like all of a sudden I haven't really seen her on my feed. And I do listen to her music regularly.
Right.
But
Well,
I
she was up
remember,
for several of the big awards. Anxiety was up for Song of the Year this year, and she was up for Best Rap Album. She just lost to Kendrick and yeah, Kendrick twice.
yeah, but my thing is what I'm saying is they're making it to these award shows and they should be. They
Yeah.
have the talent for
Well, I had
it.
the opposite
But
argue a little bit with about Dochi last year because I did some research going into the Grammys before she went viral because she went on the radar and then she did the she even before the anxiety she started to get that buzz. She had only sold 13,000 units of her album and then caught fire in the social media TikTok world with visual streams, especially when she got because that was beautiful. Someone I used to know, and then basically Will Smith to co-sign her, and that she rode that to the Grammy. Because I feel like now, before until recently, the last few years, it was a very small panel of judges or voters, I guess you would say, very small, very exclusive. Now they have opened it up, and there's like 13,000 plus voting members of the Grammys from all over the country. So if someone catches fire right before voting season, you can watch it happen. And now, yes, like you said, she has a career. she'll never have to work a regular job again. At minimum, she'll have a touring career. Um, but what it also does is once you get that notoriety and you can ride that short burst of promotional and marketing, because that's a big part of it. Now she's taken as a serious artist. Anything that she will put out, she's one of those artists that fast tracks that has the advantage like Kendrick does or Billie Eilish, that everything they put out will at least be considered for Grammy nomination. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. See,
That's going to be a gift and a curse.
Yeah, what I was going with this though is like, let's say, back in like even the 2010s, when you knew somebody's music, they were everywhere. You would hear about them on the internet in its early forms. You would see them on magazines. They were on every television broadcast. They were everywhere. And now I feel like, especially if someone blows up on TikTok, they do get a career from it, which is amazing. They deserve that. But I don't really see them too much after that.
Well, I feel like go ahead.
But why I'm not seeing, why is TMZ not touching these people? TMZ is known for instantly going after anybody, especially if, they make it somewhere. They're like, what is this person doing? Is this person looking for a new label? Is this person writing new music? I'm not seeing, I guess, in a way to put it, the same publicity as I've seen in the past.
And I'm gonna
people, they're getting careers.
Yeah.
But I'm not on multiple platforms.
Well, I think the part of it is too is they may or may not be in, but now there's so many platforms and so many streaming services and so many channels. There's just too many different places to look, to notice. And I was going to say this argument the other day. Let me give you an example. Would you rather have 50,000 views on let's say a reel on just Instagram and it not perform well, or 10,000 views on across different platforms, like 10,000 on Facebook, 10,000 on Instagram, 10,000 on YouTube, 10,000 on TikTok, 10,000 on Twitter? Because your demographics are going to be different on all of them if you're not, you know what I mean? So would you rather be spread out and seen by different lanes of people, or you rather in one place and a one-off? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's
kind of better. I don't know. That's what I'm kind of asking. Which would you rather have in that situation, if you could dole them out?
I mean, personally, I would like to have the more options, but my entire argument has been I'm not seeing.
Well, I'm just asking for that specific question. If you had a reel that it got 50,000, would you rather have it, let's say, all 50,000 on Instagram, or would you rather them be like spread out, like I said, and have 10,000 spread out? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I've been getting better. I need to download. There's an app and a program that people keep telling me about where you can post in one place and have it posted out on all of your platforms at the same time, and you can kind of schedule. I need to get on that. I do want to ask, so with your with being a young artist and you're all, well, first of all, I know you're dealing with some life things, and I know that you will get through it. Just know it's okay to struggle, but you have the resilience, and you will get to a point where everyday struggles isn't the norm. I promise you, okay? I have faith. I will help in any way I can. If you ever get froggy, we're going to be looking to move at the end of the year, beginning early next year, if you want to relocate and really change your whole life. Just planting the seed. But what I was saying, how you've been recording some music, we just released, like I said, Punchline in the end of December. You released a new dance single on your birthday this year. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I was very excited for this song. I had it in my noggin for a long time. And so I was finally like, fuck it, let's make the song. So things were looking up at that time, and I went to the studio, got it done all in one day.
Nice.
Sat for 8.5 hours, got it done all in one day. Instrumental to vocals. And I have released it, and it is my most popular song to date.
Nice.
Has been reposted by multiple people on multiple platforms. Also, I should be getting a public review from the Cincy Music magazine, which, if anybody knows,
that's
quite
awesome.
big here.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Um,
Yeah, Cincy Music
I,
Magazine is they're doing a lot, and they spread the love, dude. They
mhm,
spread the love. So
they
congratulations
do.
to you.
Thank you.
Hmm.
It see, and this is kind of gonna go into what you mentioned the first time is how people get through life.
Hmm.
I do, just with bumps and bruises and scars.
Right.
However, even with those bumps, bruises, and scars on a daily basis, I'm still emailing people. I'm still
Hmm.
contacting people. Um, I had somebody ask me not too long ago. They were like, you haven't really been out to events, but I still see you keep getting posted places. You still keep getting mentions. And I'm like, you have to talk to people. You have
Yeah.
to, like, I think in the sense of, at least today, a lot of people think you just post a video and you go viral.
No,
That is possible,
it
but
is
it's very slim.
possible. Yes.
Um, Almost every single connection I have, or even possibilities I've gotten, is because I constantly cold call and cold email people all the time. Um, every single day, the second I find out about a new outlet, a new press release, I'm cold emailing and cold calling people. And
Mm.
honestly, that's gotten me thus far, as far as I am. That's how
Right.
you and I met each other.
Hmm.
So it's very hard, but I'm excited because I got to release a dance song. I intend on having a dance album in the
Hmm.
future. My music is kind of dance music. It's
Yeah.
considered dance music, like alt dance.
Hmm.
uh, and it was a really fun release. It's my most popular one to date. I was really hoping so because I had a lot of hype for that song.
Are you gonna make a visual
um
for it?
yes,
I'm
yes.
excited to see what you come up with in that brain of yours.
Due to current events, the filming is pushed back.
Yeah.
However, I have all of the plans out. Choreography has been practiced.
Nice.
It's gonna be
And
it's
I
gonna be
know,
one
and
hell
when
of.
she says choreography, I know she's serious. I've met some of her dancer friends, and they're pretty good, man, and they respect what she's doing. So I can't wait to see your full vision come to light. And I want to applaud you. Take time to give yourself some grace and appreciate the small wins and the small accomplishments that are building the foundation to what will be something grander in the future. I got some good news today as well. Um,
You did.
I did. So I had a meeting with the Parks and Rec director, the fire marshal, and the mayor's assistant of the city of Oldsmar, Florida, where I live here. And we had filled out an application to do an outdoor event at this park called Oriolds Park. When I saw it, it's beautiful. It has beautiful amphitheater that overlooks this gorgeous bay. When the sunset goes up and down, it's absolutely beautiful. But a huge lawn that you easily can fit 30 to 40 8 by 10 vendors. We had our meeting today, and they approved us, one. And we also have landed our first official sponsor, Dynamic Health and Wellness, out of Tampa and Fort Lauderdale, that have agreed to come on and cover all the costs to get to book the park.
Hell yeah.
And that is going to be May 23rd. So you need to mark. You always tell me to tell you in your calendar. Mark it in your calendar, May 23rd. It will be down here in Florida, and we're gonna put something very, very nice together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna invite.
Hopefully, I will have my ish together.
Yeah, well,
Um,
great.
it,
We have between now and then. Do the best you can, and we will figure out a way to get here regardless. Just your nerves are not allowed to be an excuse. Uh, because we all have them. We all have them.
me
We're gonna help you get
nervous.
through yours. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
get nervous.
You
Not
don't get
outwardly.
nervous. Yes,
Not
but I
outwardly.
know you, and you do. You do. You compose it well. I know when you're really nervous because you wear your Daisy Smurf makeup. That's
First
the only
of
comparison. I
all,
love that palette. I love that palette. I'm not making fun.
the lipstick,
Yeah.
okay, is Itana's signature.
Yeah, I know. I
It's
just
not.
with
People think that that's a crazy lipstick. I don't care. That's the signature. What
you.
I'm
Yeah.
wearing now is normal makeup.
Yeah.
That's not satanic.
Yeah.
My entire style is about being dramatic. So the teal lips,
Yeah, the
that's
teal
what
lips,
satanic
the big
looks like.
hair, the corset.
Hmm.
It's all the rock star that she is. Um,
Yes,
okay. What else? So you got another topic for us?
I do.
What is it?
Um, What are our thoughts on current Cincinnati artists?
How do you mean? And
And
what?
this
I need
of
more context.
numbers, numbers, how you feel our city is going with promoting them, things like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, there wasn't just a big blowout over this recently.
Hmm.
Last week. I believe in different contexts. I think I'm going to say this. I'm going to start with this. And first and foremost, as far as promotion and marketing and all that, your self promotion and marketing is everything, and then everything else is a bonus, right? So if
Hmm.
you're not annoyingly going hard and marketing and promoting yourself, um, others are not going to, because, like I said, just like you trick the online algorithm, there's an real algorithm amongst human beings as well. You know what I'm saying? So they might be scrolling, and they see your for some reason they start to see your reel every day for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. Eventually, on day 8 or 9, they might actually click on it and link, and now you got a new follower, you got a new like, you got a new subscriber,
Hmm.
etc. I feel that, again, and I've mentioned this. I think the thing with Cincinnati is it is such a small city. um, the amount of talent is undeniable, but Fame and I
Hmm.
were just talking about this. Like, especially what new artists kind of have an advantage when they first start working and getting out on the scene, because they have that hopeful wonder and energy, and that propels them. And but once you do the laps, you realize the track isn't that big. You
Hmm.
know, there's only so many spots you can hit. There's only so many people you can hit. And unfortunately, especially as we get older, or you get in a relationship, or you have children, you know, the amount of constant follow for every night of the event is based solely on the amount of people that are available. You
Hmm.
might have I know people we know people that are in the scene that are artists and that are non-artists. They're just fans that they're out at the event supporting as often as they can. Some people they
Hmm.
only, some people are in situations where they can only get out once a month or every other week, and they get to what they can. So you have to be confident, that you can. But I feel like you have to make things special. I
Hmm.
feel like, especially like somebody like Skylar Blatt, who was just criticized, and who I found out that she made a post about meeting Rihanna, and then AI, how they put at the bottom, they put like relatable things. They compared her to Seda. So
Hmm.
that wasn't her, that was Facebook. And people blew up because they didn't know how to feel about it. And then, you had all these kinds of, it was between two people comparing, but then you had everybody else. Look how much it did for notoriety and seeing each other. You had people like Tristan Edison, who was like, hold on a minute, I'm the biggest streamer. And, within the city of Cincinnati, I think right now, currently, he does have the most monthly listeners on Spotify. It's something like 260,000, which, again, he's another one I saw. I met him at an
You
open
said
mic.
Cincinnati.
Huh?
You said in Cincinnati.
Correct.
Uh, there
I know we
is
have
two.
iShow Speed is bigger, but I don't.
Oh,
I
we're
don't
talking.
really feel like. I don't feel like. No, we're talking about streaming, and he was specifically talking about like his music streams. So like Spotify,
There is.
his monthly listeners is like 260,000, which is more than Skylar, which is more than Scally, which is more than Lantana. Um, and I don't think it's fair to compare to iShow Speed, because he's the biggest person in the world. You know what I mean? He's on a different level. Um, but I feel like the conversation is good. Talk about each other. Express why these people are your favorites. But if we could find a way to, when we are arguing about who's the best or who's the most significant or who's got the most numbers, if we could be that passionately just about liking, sharing, commenting on each other's things, we would have multiple people blowing up. You know?
You know what? That's my next topic question because
Okay.
I've had this.
You
What
kind
is
you
your
kind of cut
opinion?
out. Hold on. Start over. You cut out a little bit.
This brings me to my next question
Mm-hmm.
because I've had this on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
What is your opinion on artists who get upset that they have no support, but you never see them in anybody else's likes or comments?
Well, that I touch base on that all the time, and you know this, and I say it, especially I say it when I interview an artist. I say it when I'm hosting a show. You have to give support to get it. Period. You know, there are a lucky few, and that's when they've reached a certain level that they don't have to be as active liking. But if you want support, you got to show up to other people's events and support, and buy a ticket. Not be
And
begging
it's
them
not.
up to get in there. If you want people to like and share your shit, let them see you liking and sharing other people's shit, and then
Mhm.
that will. I mean, you wash my back, I'll wash yours. Mentality is true with this aspects. If you want support, and we'll tie it back to when you said you get out there, but you have to network. If you want support, you have to get out there. You have to meet people, build a network. But then you also then have to work that network. A network
Mhm.
ain't worth shit if it's just sitting there uncontacted and untouched and unused. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Um, and people will see. I'm dead serious. People will see you if you're liking their stuff and you're posting and you're sharing. They will notice and they will do it
People pay
in
attention,
kind.
especially if you have a recognizable name. Like there are people. There was somebody that one of the very first shows I went to. There was somebody at Timeless,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "You look really cool. Give me your Instagram." This, that, and the
Mm-hmm.
third. And I was like, okay, cool. A week later, somebody followed me with the username of Burrito Supreme. This
Mm-hmm.
was somebody else. And just
Mm-hmm.
recently, them in person at another open mic. And they were like, it's so cool that you've made it this far. I very much recognize you. Like, it's very hard to miss how you dress and how you look. And I was like, well, thank you. That makes me feel great. Um, and they were like, "Yeah, it's so cool meeting you, and I've never forgotten to like anything." And I'm like, "I know, thank you so much." And in return, I like what they post because it turns out they make music as well. Um, there's a lot of situations where you meet people, and if you're not showing them the same amount of love that they show you, they're gonna lose interest in what you do.
Correct.
It's
No, I
very.
agree. And unfortunately, and I've told you this, and then, we'll get on this strategy. And then, whatever I acknowledge and I respect, and I give you all the space that you can when you have personal things because I actually know you off camera, off social media. But it's the
Mhm.
same thing. If you want, with the support, sometimes, and I'll clarify, make it more simple. If you're doing all those things and this and that, and you're still not just getting the support for your music, I'm sorry to say, maybe it's just your music. Unfortunately, maybe try switching it up, or maybe try a different approach, or because if you've done it for so long, if and they say this, if you post every day, every single day on YouTube or TikTok, every single day for a year, you will build a following. Period. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Based off probabilities and percentages. Um,
Mhm.
Now, I will say, much like we touched base and we have earlier, because I'm great with the theme. When I mentioned somebody like Jesse Murph or Natalie Jane, who she grew to fame by doing the singing in the parking garages with her and her friends, and that went crazy. And she did that every day for years, tons and tons of videos. That's where I got that idea from, and I still want to do, and I will do this year. But every single day, and I also tell them the format. If you really want the recipe, the blueprint, listen to the OnlyFans girls. Not because of their pornographic material on OnlyFans, but because what they do is they will open 10, 20 TikTok accounts, 10, 20 Instagram accounts, 10, 20 Facebook accounts, 10, 20 Twitter accounts, 10, 20 YouTube accounts, and they post 1 to 3 or 2 to 3 times a day on every single account every single day, and then they funnel traffic to one point, which is your website or your Spotify page, or you get what I'm saying? And that is the key. But it takes lots of work. It's super tedious. It's super exhausting. It gets repetitive especially if you're doing it every single day and you're not planning out or scheduling out posts. That's what it takes in today's society. And
Yeah.
everyone that has made it or gotten to a certain level, they make videos every day
Mhm.
explaining how to do this step for step. So if you're not doing it, I get tired of people complaining about it when they're not putting in the work to blow it up. And it's fine if you're not blowing up and you're doing this, but that it just sometimes it's okay to realize it's just a hobby. And maybe you
Mhm.
should just remember to appreciate for what made you love this hobby in the first place.
It's an expensive hobby, but yeah,
It
it's a
is.
hobby.
It is, but there are ways if you can invest a little bit of money in like a basic studio equipment or program at home, so you can prepare and learn how to record your songs and do demos of songs. To when you're like, all right, I've got this there. I know what to do. I'm ready to go to the studio, and then you can maximize your time in the studio because you can, if you have a good enough engineer, which you know some, Sam at Blacklight's great. The guy, I can't remember his name at If We Die, We Die, that recorded Punchlines, wonderful. If you pay for 2 to 4 hours of time with them and you give them a game plan, especially with a demo, they're going to maximize your time, sound, and overall art. So
I definitely
that's
believe
preparation.
that. I think it varies from producer to producer because, especially if it's your first time working with somebody, like my longtime producer Tony, he has been doing all of my music except for the song that you had me record with you at If We Die, We Die. He has done every single song of mine, start to finish. And he has only recently, and by that I mean maybe 2, 3 songs ago, really gotten a grasp of what I'm putting down. And not because he doesn't know how to do his job, but because it's like learning a skill. You have to work with it until it works for you. Right. And we finally came to a head meeting and like understanding, okay, this is the sound that we're going for.
Yeah.
So
especially with singers like you, like with rappers, if they can catch the rhythm, they have a little bit more free opportunity to go in there and freestyle into songs. And if you have even a decent engineer, a simple hook and a rap song, especially for songs that are a lot of them are between a minute and a half and 2 minutes. They have a little bit of advantage, but you're absolutely correct. If you want great sound, you're going to have to build a relationship, a rapport, an understanding of communication and language with your producer. But again, back to my point, if you take the time to get a program and educate yourself at home, you can expedite and improve that relationship and those results.
And for sure, but it's a lot of work.
No,
because you learn something and you learn the works arounds. What they do with their equipment could be different. So it really varies from situation.
Yeah, no, I agree. It is 100%. It is absolutely beneficial to find and develop a relationship with a good producer if you're an artist making music, and you should and take advantage of that. But again, take the opportunity to learn from that relationship because what I've spent, especially with rappers or this that, like, see again, singer first artists. That relationship is a lot more important. But I feel like with hip hop artists, I'm trying to tell them is sometimes they'll only work with that artist, and then they never or that producer, and then their music never evolves. You get what I'm saying? It just never evolves because they're in their comfort zone. And hey, if you get a career and that works, stay in that. There's people that have made 15, 20-year careers and have sounded the exact same for that entire time. But you got to have a signature voice. You got to have a big hit. If in today's ever-changing landscape and we want new, we want different, we want new, we want different, and competing with AI, you need to get out there and work with different people and get out of your comfort zone and try new things because you don't know if it's something that may work for you unless because you were never able to try it.
I think here's my thing. I think a lot of people would be more willing to experiment if they had the money for it.
Yeah,
because
100%.
I think something it is like even a cheap studio is not actually cheap.
No.
Most studios make you pay $40 to $60 an hour.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's expensive. And a lot of studios don't have mixing and mastering with your studio time. They make you pay separate, which is a little stupid. But it's a very expensive hobby. So I think people trying to quote unquote experiment when they're putting their hard-earned money into it, is a little hard to do. Like with me, I'm fine with where I'm at because I know who I've worked with has worked with a lot of artists. They have worked with big labels. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But other people, they might not be able to find their sound.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when you're getting started and you don't have, that's why I say get out there and go to these events, go to this network, because unfortunately, you do have some producers or recording houses that love to prey on the ignorance of new artists. They don't know what come in, they don't know what to ask for, they don't know how much shit costs, and they just get their pockets ran, and then oftentimes they still don't get the sound or project completion that they were looking for, and now they're jaded.
That I'm going to make this very clear for anybody watching this. I don't care how much you like somebody and their artistry. If they are not doing for you what you need, do not stay.
Yeah, and
Just
especially
because
don't keep spending money with them.
exactly. Don't continue to give your money to somebody if they're not doing what you need.
Yeah.
This is a very expensive industry. And even if it's just a hobby for you, you want your money to work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have
Absolutely.
to scream to get what you need.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to speak up about what you want. It's your studio time. Tell them, hey, I don't like that sound. Hey, change this. Hey, change that. It's your money.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this. I think we've had a good time limit today. Also, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to get some money. You just recently became a bartender at the Stumble Inn. Is that correct?
Yes.
What days are you there?
As of right now, I'm only there Thursdays.
What during day or night? Thursday.
I work typically midday.
Okay, so if you're in the Hartwell, Carthage, or Vine Street, north of downtown, stop in the Stumble Inn. See my girl Gray. I'm gonna send you a couple recipes for some drinks that are great, easy to make, and you can make some money on. I got you. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. We're gonna after we go back and review this episode, folks. We will come up with a title for this series. But Gray, thank you. We are going to continue this every week. If you guys have questions that you think that you would love to hear some people discuss or think should be discussed, reach out to myself or Gray, and there's a good chance we'll talk about them. Until then, you want to say anything before you go?
Because a lot of people get confused. I address this every time I'm on anything. My name is Grace Satana. Please do not call me Santana. That is not my name.
No,
and if you want to find me on platforms, that is Gray, GreySatana.
And we'll put that down here.
I'm friendly. I don't bite.
She is friendly.
Like, I'm friendly.
She does look like she bite, but that I promise she won't. She won't. Those razor blades are fake. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to hurt you.
They were real.
They were real ones, though. See, that's what's scary. She's still approachable, though. This is Diggity Dean Dane Sampson. This is the Interview Podcast. Thank you to my co-host today, Grace Satana, and shout out to our sponsor, Spin Bin Magazine, that makes all this production able to happen. We appreciate you. That's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Don't go anywhere.